Let's begin in finding our easy seat. So find any comfortable seat where you would like to start your meditation. It may be cross-legged, it may be sitting on a bolster and chair, whatever makes you feel relaxed. You can gently place the palms down, close the eyes, and reach to the crown of the head. Start to take some deep breaths in here, really filling the belly and letting it go. Nice full breaths into the nose and full breaths out of the mouth. A few more rounds of that deep breathing. Now slowly start to bring the awareness down to the base of your spine, the tailbone, and slowly work the awareness in the mind up the spine. Try to go through each and every vertebrae, the bits in between. Observe how the back feels, how the spine feels, where it might be tight, where it might be sore, and where it may feel really good and mobile. Invite all of those sensations in, acknowledging each one as part of your practice. As we move through our poses today, we're going to be focusing on the lower back health. So not only poses that work the low lumbar and maybe a little bit of the lumbar sacral, but also poses that work the kidneys, the prostate, the urinary tract, as well as bringing gentle compression along the belly. Continue to breathe deep, working on lengthening out those inhales and exhales. Each round a little bit longer, each exhale the same length as the inhale. Continue to scan the rest of your body. Allow yourself to relax as you do so, knowing we're not bringing in any force anywhere, just observing, just making mental notes of how things feel physically and emotionally. Continue to reach to the crown of the head. Stay with your steady breath. And then slowly bring the awareness into the heart center, the space right at the center of your chest. Observe the front of the chest, the back of the chest, the left side, and the right side. Draw the awareness into the center and start to bring forth a memory of gratitude, a memory of happiness or love. And from that center, let the memory grow and expand until it envelops your entire being. And as you're washed in those feelings, this is a beautiful place to set your intent. Choose a clear, simple statement and repeat it to yourself silently or out loud like a mantra until we're ready to go into the first position. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose and let it go. Our first position is going to be child's pose. So you can take your child's pose any way you want. You can either just let those knees go nice and wide as you let the body go down, forehead resting on the mat. You could bring those knees in and bring those arms back. Or if you're feeling a little bit tighter in the back, maybe bring a bolster or a block underneath and let yourself rest down. Whatever one you choose, focus on that place where the forehead meets the mat or your prop. Find that connection from the higher self to the grounded self. Breathe deep here. Work on taking your equal length inhales, your equal length exhales. As you give the lower lumbar a little bit of a stretch, massage those kidneys, put a gentle compression on the tummy. See where you can relax through the body, the legs and the arms. Stay with the long, steady breath. Maybe work yourself to a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. You can play with the pauses between the breath, maybe inviting a pause for a 1 or 2 count at the top or the bottom. Push that booty towards the heels of the feet. Really get a good stretch in that lower spine. Allow yourself to relax a little deeper with each round of breath. Taking little adjustments, little movements to find a different expression of this pose. Maybe one that's a little bit softer, or maybe one that's a little bit more active. The choice is up to you, but stay mindful that we're working on lower back health. So try to keep a gentler, more loving approach, full of kindness as you come into your poses. Kindness to the body, to how the body feels, and how you can cater to those areas with the kindness. take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Let it go. We're moving into our next pose, which is Sphinx. So gently roll the body forward. As you bring those elbows underneath the shoulders, untuck those toes, spread those fingers, maybe bring the legs nice and wide as you let those hips relax. We're going to be here for about 5 minutes, and you can join me and stay the entire time down in your Sphinx. Or if you want to, you can take Seal. Either way, we're working on the L2 and L3 of our vertebrae. A lumbar sacral arch, a little compression, a little bit of stretch. Keep in mind here, with that loving kindness, we want to really observe how the lower back feels. If you start to feel the pins and needles, too much of a pinching sensation, lower down and release a little bit. You can do that by moving the arms forward, letting the chest get a little bit softer to the ground. You could bring your bolster underneath, give you something to rest onto, or even your blocks. My back's a little tender today, so I'm just going to stay right here with the heart nice and raised, but a softer curve in my back. If I want to stimulate my throat, I can tilt the neck back or drop it forward. But I might just hold my head in my hands. Stay with your even breaths here. At this point, if you would like to transition into Seal, you're more than welcome to. Or you can stay here with me. Keep in mind that if you go to Seal, as soon as you feel the pins and needles, a pinching sensation, that pose is a little bit too aggressive for where the body is today, and allow yourself to come back down to the Sphinx. If Sphinx is starting to feel a little too sore, you can come down to your crocodile by removing your bolster, placing the forehead on top of the hands. Stay with your breath. Nice deep inhales. Nice deep exhales. Trying to keep the inhales and the exhales of equal length. Fully filling the lungs and fully emptying them. Allowing the body and the mind to get all the oxygen that it needs. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Let it out. We're going to counter this by pushing back to a child's pose. Bring the knees in narrow, push the body back, the head goes down, and bring the hands to the low back. Take a moment there just to bring the energy, awareness to that part of the body. Then slowly roll everything up. We're coming into butterfly pose. So bringing those heels together, knees nice and wide. You may want to grab your blocks for this to give you some support. And make sure you get that pre-tilt in the pelvic so we have that natural forward hinge. If you want, you can take a few breaths here before you start to fold down. Or you can follow me as you inhale for your length and exhale for your hinge. Now my back is still a little tight, so my hinge is not as deep as what my normal practice is, or really what my standard practice is. So I am going to bring in some support to allow my body to gently come down a little bit further. Getting that deeper hinge without putting too much stress on my back. This modification that I'm taking here is to help keep my neck nice and straight. With this practice, you can reach to the crown of the head, keep a nice long spine, or you can drop the neck down, getting that nice arch and curve in the back. But for how my body feels, this is where I want to be today. As I work myself deeper into that fold, keeping my spine nice and long. Even extend those arms out if it feels good, or wrap them around my bolster. Stay with your even breaths. You can visualize that you're bringing the breath to the low spine, the base of the back. Imagine that the breath is like a massage, softening those areas, allowing them to open up, to compress a little bit easier, to get a much more comfortable hinge here. Draw that breath in through the nose, down the back of the throat and the lungs, all the way to the low back and the hips. Imagine that that breath is like a wave, washing over the lower parts of the body. With each round, you soften and sink a little more. Remember, you do not need to be stagnant. At any point you want to go down a little bit deeper, you're more than welcome to. Even if it feels like getting a little bit of length, lifting up slightly, and then hinging back down. Allow your mind to wander. Let the thoughts come in and let them pass. Allow all the buried emotions and thoughts to uncover themselves and start to rise to the surface. Then take a nice deep inhale. Let it go. Slowly roll the body up. We're going to place the hands underneath the knees as we bring them together. Hands come behind the hips as you give yourself a little windshield wiper from side to side. Now we're moving into supine twist. We want to make sure we get the spine going in all directions. So when you're ready, start to bring yourself onto your back and those knees into the chest. Pulling them in nice and tight so you let that lower lumbar lift. And then extend long one of the legs as you grab the opposite shin with the hand, and on the exhale, pull it across the body. Allow those hips to stack as you work that shin and knee towards the opposite side. Now, if you want some extra support, you can bring your blocker bolsters here. As you extend the other arm long, bringing the gaze behind you. Allow yourself to have this gentle twist. And at any point you want to make it a little bit more active, you're more than welcome to. But what we want is a nice gentle movement in the spine to help loosen up the fluid in there, get it nice and circulating, and releasing any tensions that we might have built up in our hinges. Allow the long leg to relax and soften. And if it feels good, in this pose, you can take the longer exhales. Maybe inhaling 2 or 4 count, pausing for a 1 or 2 count, and exhaling to a 5 or 6 count. Really draw out those exhales so you can let the twist a little bit deeper. Bringing out the organs, massaging the tummy as well as the spine. Stay with whatever breath within you're in. Either the equal lengths or the longer exhale. Allow your breathwork to relax you into this pose. Moving the mind from the body and internalizing the awareness that any thoughts and sensations arise, observing them as they come in the mind and as they leave without control. a nice deep inhale, letting it out as you slowly bring the knees to the chest. Bring that gaze up to the midline. Maybe readjust your hips a little bit so the spine can be nice and long. Give those feet a little flexation. Maybe a little roll. And when you're ready to go to the opposite side, extend the other leg nice and long. Get your prop over there if needed. And on the exhale, you start your twist as you drop that shin and knee over. Let those hips stack. Then bring the opposite arm and the gaze behind you. Go with whatever breath work you chose on the other side. So if you did the 4 count, stay with your 4 count here. If you opted for the longer exhale, bring that back into the side of the body. And observe how the sides of the bodies are different. Which side is a little bit more easier? Which side is a little bit more tense? This side of my body is actually a little bit more sore in through the hip and the lower lumbar. So I may actually release a little bit from that twist. Bring my block in. And bring the support up just a little bit higher. Oh, that feels so much better. So really listen in to what the body needs. And as I soften through here, become more relaxed in this position, I may remove that block and take it a little bit deeper, working towards a new edge in this pose. Try to see where you're holding, where you're tightening. Can I release a little bit from that long leg? Am I keeping it flexed? Or can I soften through the foot, the knee, the thigh? And allow your mind to wander here. When we go through our yin practice, our meditation's a little bit different than our yang. We actually want to work with the monkey mind as a non-participative observer. So let the mind ramble. Let the mind roll and flow and go off in any little random distance or tangents. Just observe the thoughts without force, without control, and without engagement. Maybe think about how you can take this side a little bit deeper, or just try to relax and soften where you are. Then take a nice deep inhale through the nose, letting it out. As you bring the knee and the gaze back up to the midline, pulling both those knees into the chest, maybe straighten out the spine, adjust those hips, and give yourself a few rocks from side to side. We're going to be moving into supported bridge. So you can do this with your block, you can do this with a bolster or a pillow. I'm going to choose my smaller bolster here because my back is sore. I don't want to go into an aggressive back bend. So I inhale, lift those hips as I bring my bolster underneath. Now I'm still making sure I'm above the booty as I let it drop down, so more of my back is supported and I have less of an arch. Gaze is to the sky, the eyes can close, and if it feels good, I can extend my legs nice and long. But I might keep them up to the ceiling. Allow the breath to be deep here. And know that in this position, you can take yourself up higher if you want. You can start down soft like I am. And as you sink and feel more comfortable here, you may switch the bolsters out for a block, maybe bringing it on its higher setting, or the yoga wheel if you have one. Though remember, as soon as you feel any pinching sensations, any pins and needles, any kind of tingling, bring yourself back down. That means you've gone past your edge in this pose. We want to make sure that the body stays safe, so we don't want to overexert it. Allow yourself to take those deeper exhales here. Nice, steady inhales. Longer, slower exhales out. Feel the chest rise on the inhale. And allow the body to sink all the way into the support on the exhale. Let the head, shoulders, and arms be heavy, keeping you grounded, keeping them relaxed and without tension. Try to release the face of all expression. Drop the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Soften the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, the cheeks, the chin, the jaw. Soften the entire face and try to spread that softening down through the rest of the body. remember, you do not need to stay stagnant in these poses. Invite movements. Invite adjustments. Think about how you can tweak the pose to make it feel especially good. The purpose of our yin poses isn't to look pretty, or isn't to have this static textbook alignment, but to find that balance of relaxation and work. So when you're ready, take your nice big inhale through the nose and let it go. However you are on your props, you'll plant your feet, lift those hips by engaging the core, or moving them out and dropping those hips back down, untucking those shoulders as you bring the knees into the chest. Maybe give yourself a few rocks from side to side. We're coming into our final yin position before Shavasana. So if you don't have a wall around you, take a moment here to pause the video. But if you do, then you can give yourself a few rocks until you're up in your seated position. Bring your mat close to the wall. Preferably not one with photos, but we do what we gotta do. Now there is, as I found, no graceful way to get into this. If you have a graceful way, I would love to see it. But what we're doing is we're bringing the hips towards the wall as close as you can get as you lower the body down. And start to roll the shoulders down as you bring those legs up. Resting those heels on the wall. The arms could be out, you can bring them in. Some people like them behind the head. And let the body get that little inversion. You can keep the legs up. You may want to bring them into more of a bound angle if you feels good. Or any other leg jazz, leg movements that feel really nice. And keep them nice and long. And come back to those equal length breaths here. Nice long inhales, equally long exhales. And if you notice you kind of slid yourself away from the wall, you can roll to the side, bring the booty back up, and then re-extend those legs. There we go. That's much better. Sorry, photo. It may feel good to even bring them a little bit wider. Or just relax into the stillness here. Remember, you don't need to be stagnant. You can play with different leg positions as you relax. And I probably said that a little bit too late, but when you're ready, take that nice deep inhale through the nose. Let it out. If you wish, you can take your Shavasana here with your legs up the wall, or you can give yourself a little gentle rock from side to side until you're ready to roll off to one side, pushing yourself up and setting up to whatever is your Shavasana of choice. Today, I'm going to choose mine in Crocodile. As I lay onto the belly, bringing my feet nice and wide with the toes pointed out so the hips can relax, and bringing the forehead on top of the hands. Allow yourself to relax into your Shavasana of choice. This one for me just feels extra good when my back is feeling a little sore and the ground may be too uncomfortable. But take some deep breaths here. Fully inhale through the nose and fully exhale through the mouth. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Let yourself drift off, softening, sinking, letting go. Start to bring a little bit of movements into those fingers and toes. Draw the awareness back into the breath, letting go of all control of the breath, just observing it. Observing the natural inhales, the natural exhales, and how the body moves in time with the breath. Fluidity, like a unit. Then take a nice deep inhale and let it out. As you roll your body over to one side, surrendering in the fetal position, sealing in your practice, honoring where you are, here and now, and allowing yourself to be loved for it. Take one more deep inhale, one more exhale, then slowly push your body up to your seated position, bringing those hands to heart center. The light in me honors and respects the same divine light in each of you. In all that we think, do, and say, namaste. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You get a little bit of lower back love, and have a great day. Bye.